What's good? It's your boy Blackyd. I'm here and I want to do something different. I want to review Mortal Kombat 1 story. Just for me talking about it. I know a lot of people just, this is YouTube. A lot of people going to show you videos. They're going to react to it. I just want to really just talk about it, myself after playing it. And I'm saying all of this, I knew the game was coming out. I didn't really immerse myself into a lot of the content that came out, prior to the game coming out or whatever. I didn't know all of the characters were going to be in the game. I did see a little bit of, the DC. I do remember, not DC, DLC. I do remember some of that. I remember seeing that. But it's a lot about this game that's the story. I'm not gonna lie. Part of me, I was like, okay, starting off, I was like, man, this is refreshing. This is pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna lie. Somewhere towards the end, I kind of got a little ticked off with NetherRealm Studios or whoever. I mean, whatever, But no doubt about it. So far, I think this is still a good take on a game. If we're gonna say a reboot or something like that, I think it's still a good story. So, starting off, of course, this is a new timeline that Liu Kang created. After he won the fight against Shang Tsung and Chronicle or whatever. So, you get to see him pretty much with the restart. They had Kung Lao, Raiden. Raiden is now a normal person, and so you get to play with these characters in the story mode without abilities, and then they kind of grow into, gaining abilities. And so it's like, man, this is pretty cool. Because I ain't gonna lie, I felt like Raiden without lightning powers was badass, even though he became better with the lightning powers, but just seeing him fight without, I was like, okay, now Raiden got hands, you know what I'm saying? But it's I thought that aspect was pretty cool. Then you get to see the ninjas in play. They did a new spin where Scorpion is now Sub-Zero's brother, but they're actually brothers and it's not Hanzo. Which, I ain't gonna lie, that kind of irritated me a little bit because I'm a Scorpion fan. But it's okay, it's different. And, I would like to see where they would go with this. Although I would like to see Hanzo come back as the actual Scorpion. They do have him as a cameo character. So I'm like, okay, and seeing some of the cameo characters like Sonya and Jackson, all these other people. So, okay, cool, but I would have rather seen them, in the actual game if possible. And I know it's just coming out, so chances are they're going to probably put them in there. But it just felt like some of the main staples should have been in the game, but whatever. But I was excited to see Smoke, and watching people play with him online. I'm like, wow, man, you know some crazy stuff. Reptiles in there, which I was somewhat excited about. And also just with the story, because I'm spoiling stuff. So if you're already into this, keep watching. If you haven't played already, go ahead and keep watching. Now I'm just playing. You might want to turn it off. I'm not just talking about this in order. I'm just saying stuff that stood out to me, in which was different. Man, it's a lot to unpack to see some of these characters actually, you're so used to Mortal Kombat playing out a certain way. Some of these characters didn't feel like they would be, like some characters that you would consider to be normally evil. Man, they put a different spin on it where Baraka was good this time. It's like, wow, man, it's different to see Baraka good, but then they put a whole new spin on how he ended up, becoming a Tarkata. And in this case, it was that's a disease. It's not it's a species or whatever. So it was just different. Even with Melina, same thing. She ended up contracting a disease, and that's how she ended up becoming that way. But then you get to see her more on the human side, and then she was actually she was a good character this time. She wasn't evil or whatever. But then she had moments where she would transform, and then it's ooh, we don't know. We getting our regular Melina. What do we got here? So it was it's different. Sindel was good this time. I was like, wow, okay. I mean, of course, then you had your regular characters, Shang Tsung, Shao Kahn, pretty much evil people, whatever. that never changes. But it was like the story mode until they got to a certain point, and it felt refreshing. And so then, even when they got ready to reveal who the final boss was, now that's when I got pissed off, because it's like, okay, you're revealing the final boss, but then here's where the spoiler becomes. This is the spoiler point right here for me. You reveal the final boss, but then the final boss ends up being Shang Tsung from another timeline. And this is the thing that irritates me. And I guess I'm an older gamer, but I like a good story, and I like, it's a lot of different things I like in games. But if you can immerse me in a decent story, then you got me. So the thing that irritated me the most was he's coming from another timeline, and it's like, bro. So you got evil Shang Tsung, then you got a eviler Shang Tsung, but it's the Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat 11. So apparently, when he and Liu Kang fought over the crown, Chronicles crown or whatever, they showed us in 11 how both of them, what would happen if both of them won. So they're bringing back that whole concept. It's like, oh, well, Shang Tsung survived. And he's like, oh, well, this is what happened when I won, and this is what happened when Liu Kang won. So it's like, why are we doing this stuff with the timeline? That's the thing that irritates me about gaming now. It's like this whole multiverse thing, bro. It's like, man, look, just give me a good story. Like, and I know what they're trying to do is they want to give you the ability to create these concepts, on your own. And that's cool. But I'm like, look, I didn't spend that kind of money for me to have to create that, man. Like, I didn't do that. I spent money because you're supposed to create it. Give me a good story. So I think overall, until it got to that point, it was pretty cool. And then you see a lot of callbacks to what they did was the whole Armageddon thing. So if you remember Mortal Kombat Armageddon at the beginning, how everybody was outside fighting each other, and they did that all over again. And then you pick a character, whoever you want to play as, and the character fights a host of. Now, what they did, which I found was weird this time. I think it's weird, but it's funny. They took and they spliced together a bunch of characters, or they gave you a different variations of characters to fight going up the stairs. So you may see a female version of Scorpion, or you may have seen Johnny Cage spliced with, I don't know, Havoc or something, or Rago, or it was like Goro with, of course, he has 4 arms, so he has 4 Shao Kahn hammers, or it was different versions of Melina. It was weird. It was like, wow, okay, y'all mixing together characters like Sub-Zero mixed up with, I don't know, somebody. They did that, and so you might have done 5 or 6 fights going up the stairs, and then eventually you and Liu Kang fight off Quan Chi and Shang Tsung, and then the story ended, the story ended in a good way, and then they had another plot twist, which I need to research that. But it was other than that, I thought it was an okay story. It looked good graphically. But I just didn't like the whole, I don't care for the whole multiverse thing. And I mean, I'm going to go home whenever I get a chance. I'm going to play the towers and stuff like that. I want to see what's going on with that. I may get online. I'm not really an online gamer, but I may get online, play around with that. But other than that, I mean, I felt like they were heading in a good direction. It's just that multiverse crap, man. Mortal Kombat was who's going to be the champion, realm versus realm. Which realm is going to win? You know what I mean? I guess that story kind of gets old too, but I'd rather you either, I like the whole start over, and I like that you really, really started over, and you gave us a chance to say, this is our character development, and it's going to be different, and so that part was refreshing. It's just once it got to this is the final boss, because they revealed, because I ain't lying, I thought it was Chronicle came back, and it's like, wow, how did she survive? It was this they made it like it was this woman, but it turned out to be Shang Tsung in disguise. So, I mean, that's all I got on this one, man. I mean, I don't know. That's my take on it. I just don't like multiverses and all this stuff because like other games, like I remember what was it, Injustice 2. It was all we jumping into a multiverse. This is just it's like I'm like I get it, it's cool every now and then. Even when you consider like Dragon Ball Xenoverse, all these other, this is a different timeline. This is like, bro, come on, man, just give me a story, man. Give me a good story. Don't give me, just keep rehashing the same stuff over and over, or give me like these multiple what ifs or all these different timelines. I don't want to see myself in another timeline. I just want a good story of me one time through. I mean, that's just my mindset. And I mean, like I said, I know the whole aspect is for you to be creative and do other stuff, but I think it gets old when you do that. It's like repetitive. And my fear with Mortal Kombat is like they rebooted 9, they gave us 10, which was pretty great. And it's like, okay, here's 11, and then 11 turned into the whole you're playing with time, and now you reboot it, but it's like you're still gonna play with time again. So because even with the final clip, it was like all these different characters spliced together, and it was like, yeah, he's gonna come back and it's gonna be mess with more time stuff. I'm like, man, go away with that. I don't want to seem like I'm complaining, but I think that was my biggest gripe because it looked pretty good. I played on the Xbox. It looked pretty good, and like I said, overall the character development was pretty decent for the most. Your characters are who they are. They did what they did with Sub-Zero. Of course, Sub-Zero is going to end up being evil. For the most, they did what you could expect. But then it's like, I think they kind of ran out of steam and they went differently with the whole time crap. I hate that. So, I don't know. But that's all I'm going to talk about.